Hello candle lovers, thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Greg and this is all about candles. Let's just get right into today's review. I've got Frozen Lake from Bath and Body Works right here. I thought that this packaging was absolutely beautiful. This candle just looked stunning when it was burning, and I do go through like 2 of these every year, so I picked up a second one and also burned through this white barn version of Frozen Lake, which I think came out a little bit earlier in the fall time. I just thought both of these candles were gorgeous. If I do plan on picking up like 2 candles of the same fragrance, if I can get them in different packaging, I do like to do that because I want to investigate if they perform any differently or if they use different wicks. I can confirm that both of these candles performed exactly the same. I don't think that they reformulated it in any way in between this version and this version. I should also note, I'm not certain that this came with a white lid. I might have put that white lid on there myself just because I thought it looked a little bit better with one. Anyways, let's get into the scent notes on this candle. We have lavender leaves, cool eucalyptus, and juniper berries, and I've really liked this candle, and I've liked it for a long time. I think that Frozen Lake first started coming out, I want to say maybe 7 or 8 years ago, and since then it's definitely been like, I think it's been coming out every single year. It's not really one of those candles that you hear a lot of people like raving about or like really dying to get their hands on, but it must be doing pretty well because it always comes back and it doesn't seem to like stick around that long either. Like it's sold out right now on the American and the Canadian website. You still might be able to find some of them in store. I'm guessing that this version might still be hanging around in store. Anyways, so Frozen Lake definitely is sort of a cologne-y, slightly medicinal fragrance. It's not a fragrance that I would say is for everybody, but it's a fragrance that I really like. The eucalyptus in this candle gives it a really nice sort of minty, sort of cooled, chilled effect. Like I said, it does lean a little bit medicinal, but in a nice way, kind of like in like a Vicks Vapo Rub type of way. Like it does feel like if you have a little bit of a cold or you're stuffed up or something, it's got like that quality to it that will sort of clear your sinuses out. And it's always been quite a strong candle as well, which I enjoy. I find that the juniper berry in this gives it a bit of a citrusy, like piney note. And the lavender in here is a little bit green, a little bit powdery, just slightly floral, but not super floral. I'd say primarily this is like a eucalyptus candle with that juniper and the lavender sort of playing second and third place to like this sort of minty medicinal cooling eucalyptus vibe. Yeah, and I've always really liked this fragrance. This is very typical of the types of fragrances that I like to burn after Christmas when we're in that space where it's like Christmas and New Year's is over, but it's still winter for a solid like month and a half where I live, so I'm not really starting to think about burning spring yet. For me, that is a perfect time for candles like Frozen Lake. And yeah, the fragrance is really good. It's not something that's for everybody. It might be a little bit too medicinal or cologne-y for some people, but I enjoy this one. And performance-wise, like I said, these candles both did exactly the same. They had the thin core wicks on them, and this was a super clean burn. Look at how white that wax is. I have no complaints about this candle, folks. It burned so cleanly, evenly, nicely. As soon as it started to pool out, we'd go from like a 6.5 to a 7 for strength and throw. That's in my more open area. I'd say this definitely hits a 7 for strength and throw. In the bedroom, I'd say it's getting to like a 7.5 for strength and throw. This candle has been very consistent over the years, and I've got to say that this year's version in particular, I just thought burned beautifully. I have absolutely no complaints about it. I really do think that this is a candle and a fragrance that they've managed to sort of perfect. I don't remember ever having like really bad like burn issues or dudding out or anything like that with this candle. It's always done really well for me. This version as well, as you can see, I burned both all the way down until I could see the wick nickels and there was like nothing left. And really beautiful, clean performance on both of these. Good strength and throw. I really don't have any complaints. The only word of warning that I might have is that this just isn't one of those fragrances that's necessarily for everybody with that sort of medicinal cologne-y kind of vibe to it, but it's definitely one that's for me. I really like having some candles in the wintertime that are sort of refreshing, kind of nice palate cleansers, and I think that Frozen Lake sort of steps into that role around this time of year really nicely. So yeah, absolutely a repurchase for me and a recommendation for you on Frozen Lake. That's all I have for you folks today. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. You can follow me on Instagram at allaboutcandles. Email me your burning questions to allaboutcandles@gmail.com. I'm going to be filming January's episode of Burning Questions really quickly, so you have about a week left to get those questions in if you have any. And hey, if you could hit this video up with a like, a comment, if you could subscribe to my channel, that would really mean the world to me. I'll be back tomorrow with another candle review, and so until then, my dear gorgeous and beautiful candle loving friends, let's burn some candles and bitch about it. Thanks you guys. Bye now.